Get back to some intimate relationships.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem, bro. We got intimate relationships with inanimate objects, with shoes and clothes and cars and
Material possessions.
yeah, and it's like, man, that is not leaving us fulfilled. It's not satisfying. It's leaving us broke, stressed out. So why would we continue to chase that?
Yeah. Hey, one play that I love that we've been able to develop to get out of debt.
Oh, you wanna give it to him now?
Yeah, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We rolling, man.
I love this play.
We rolling now, man. One play I love that we've implemented is Nexus.
Nexus, baby.
Nexus is an incredible tool, resource.
I love it.
And plan to get out of debt and get out of debt faster.
Yeah.
And this genius, he's always coming up with financial plays, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this dude, that's why I say, man, like Money Man Dan is gonna get to the money. He's gonna figure out how to move money around. He's gonna figure out how to navigate through these. He like, it's all my brother's such a cool nerd, y'all. Like it's all an algorithm. Like it's all like systems. And once you learn the systems, you can benefit from like the systems. And so he introduced this thing to us called Nexus. And it's three of us, three brothers. And so we were talking about that. And Dan was saying like, man, why don't we pool our income to pay off debt faster?
Easy.
And so we was like, oh, okay, cool. We always kind of like, it's easy when we present stuff to one another. It's like, all right, cool, it makes sense.
Right.
And then Dan was like, but it'd be better if we had 5.
Yeah.
And then so we added your brother, best friend, Fry.
Yeah.
And then we added another good friend of yours, which is Terrell.
Yeah.
At the time. And we just began to structure it. And I remember when you first started, we was like, okay, how is this about to work?
Right.
Because we was like, we giving X amount of dollars per month to each individual debt.
Mm-hmm.
So you would take a turn, which would be week 1. I'll take a turn week 2, James 3, 4, 5, and so on. But then we realized like it's gonna be too long for that next person to get back.
Yeah.
And so we had to devise it a certain way. You remember how we devised it?
Yeah, for sure. Depends on what you're talking about. So if you're still talking about the 5, yeah,
correct.
So it's simple. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And so there are benefits both ways. See, everyone has a benefit in this thing. But it started with trust. I gotta say that. I didn't go to random people.
Sure.
I actually started off with Fry first. Me and him actually did it before.
2 people Nexus?
Yeah.
I thought it had to be an odd number for some reason.
Nah, it can work with 2 people. When 2 or more are gathered.
I'm in the room.
Real talk.
We can accomplish anything.
Accomplish, right? And so that's what happened. Originally, he looked at, we were talking about debt, bro. You know, dudes be like, man, I got it.
Yeah.
And so I said, man, how much credit card that you got? He said, man, I got this. I said, bro, I think I got about the same amount. We got in alone, but we don't have to get out of it alone. And that's
together
what
we win.
Yes, we've been tricked to believe that we got to do everything by ourselves.
Yeah.
And so it worked. I paid him first. He paid me, then I paid him. And so the benefits are.
Hold on. What? How did that go?
So if it was me and you doing it together, right? And you were first.
Yeah.
I would pay you the money.
So January, you paying me.
I pay you. February, March, it would go to me. And then it would go back to you in April.
Got you.
Right? And that's the play. And then you just keep repeating that over and over and over again.
So how does that help?
So how it helps, let's use the 3-person example just to make this short, right?
Yeah.
Me, you, and James, right? Let's say we put in $200 a month. James is first. He gets the benefit of not only having his payment of $200 that goes to his whatever debt that he decided to go towards, right?
Yeah.
Now he has an additional $400.
Correct. So I'm giving him 2, you giving him 2.
Yeah. So if
it's $600 that particular month
that's going to his debt, right? And so now if he had $1,000 on a card, right?
Yeah.
Now instead of putting that $200 on the
He
card,
just put
he just
$600
put
on the card.
$600 on that card, right?
Yeah.
Now the next few months he got $400
Yeah.
that he owes on that card, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, plus the interest, whatever that may be, right?
Yeah.
But it knocked out more principal, and he didn't do anything extra. He just said, "Hey, I got two brothers, and what's up?"
Yep.
That's what he did, bro.
Yep.
And so now we said, "Hey, now it's D turn. You got some debt that you need to pay off. Now you get the 600,
Yep.
right? And now after your month, then I get the 600,
Yep.
right? But because I waited, right,
Yep.
I get the reward of having the back to back.
Yeah.
So now I get the six. Hey, that person
I love
you
that back to
being that-
back.
Yeah.
At first, I would try to be first, and then I realized, I want to be the back to back guy.
The back to back guy gets rewarded
Mhm.
because he had to wait for the first.
The first two.
Yeah, and I built that trust up with y'all.
Yeah.
Right. So then James went first, you went second, and then I came third.
Yeah.
So now I got $600 to go toward my credit card debt. But
So
now,
March and April, you get to push $1,200 to
yes.
and these numbers can also change. It don't have to be two. You can have
$200.
500. It can be
You can do
1,000.
100.
You could do 100. You could do 50.
Yeah.
You could do whatever number is comfortable and
Yeah.
conducive to you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people are like, man, every time I introduce this and I try to introduce this concept to other people, they just can't wrap around. Well, I don't have people that can afford that. I was like, well, just put it down to 50. Any extra money towards your principal amount is going to help you.
Help you out. But one thing that we did before we got involved, before we really began the process of execution,
Yeah.
we looked at our finances and said, what can you do comfortably for the next
We're not trying
10
to
months?
stretch you.
We that's not what's about to
Yeah.
happen, right? You can do this comfortably. And everybody came up with their number and we settled on, I think it was $200. $250.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember.
And so that's what we settled on. So now I'm not stretching,
Yeah.
right? I'm not stressing myself out. You not being stressed. And this is maintainable.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want to have happen is you get started and then people, oh man,
Man,
I
I
can't.
can't even. That's the worst.
Nah, and so that's what we prevented that up
Up
front.
front.
Like, what can you do multiple times over, and
Yeah.
then we arrive at this number, which is
Exactly.
250, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, if it's between me, you, and James,
Yeah.
that's $750, which is $1,500 on that back to back
Back-to-back.
on my
Yep.
end,
Yeah.
right? And so now that's how I paid off my credit card so fast, bro.
Yeah, me
because
too.
they thought I was coming in this thing alone.
Exactly.
I ain't doing it alone no more.
Yeah.
And now, when my credit cards, this is the exponential returns that you get.
Yeah. I love that word now.
Now my credit card utilization is going down,
Yep.
and my credit score went up,
Yep.
and I ain't stressed.
And you ain't did nothing extra.
I just brought in my two brothers who I love,
Yeah.
cherish, and trust,
Yep.
and they ain't gonna stab me in the back, and I ain't finna stab them in the back.
Because the relationship matters more than any monetary possession anyway.
Yeah. So now I get the benefit of having trust in a relationship with my brothers to apply it to this
Yeah.
financial situation.
Yeah.
And then it come right back down to you.
Yep.
And then it come right back down to little bro.
Yep.
So now we just paid off each of us $1,500, the same amount of money that we would have paid in that same amount of time. But what we did is we sped up the process.
Yep.
That's the benefit of a Nexus.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have had that 750 in
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah.
He would have only had his 250.
And what I love about Nexus too is as you all get out of debt, now you start the conversation being elevated, moving from we're trying to get out of debt to now we're trying to purchase assets.
That's
What I love about it, because now that $750 no longer, I don't want any, son. Thank you. Now that $750 is the same $750 that you guys are already been used to saving up. It's a habit now.
And you have greater financial flexibility because you don't
Have to pay
this
your money
debt.
to anybody. Yeah.
So those are just the and now I know, man, we can do this at any time.
Yeah.
We can run this play at any
Anytime.
time, bro. That's why I don't be
Yeah.
tripping off debt no more.
Exactly.